Will Shigalis. I'm from New Jersey, Morris County. I'm here to just talk to you about, being yourself. Find yourself. My boy over here, you love yourself, you love who you are, and you're gonna be successful. You take everything you know and you put it into something, and you're gonna put it into something positive. And invest in cryptocurrency. I want you to know that fiat, no money, no problems. All about the cryptocurrency. Ethereum, Algorand, Bitcoin. And, anything else I could tell you.
So how did you get into investing?
I got into investing in YouTube. YouTubers, learning from it. And eToro, Coinbase, learning about how to get into it. It's about what you do and how you do it.
Now what about the bubble? What do you expect with that?
The bubble. Now the bubble is going to come and go like any other one. There's going to be corrections in a good market. If it's not correcting, it's not a good market.
Yeah.
You have to be strong, and like I said, you got to believe in what you know. You got to believe in what you know. You got to do the research on your own and really believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you're going to be successful. And that's all I can tell you.
So you were telling me about the insurance industry earlier. What can you tell me about the insurance industry?
The insurance industry, very impressive. You're not as good as your last sale. Your residual incomes is something I could tell you. Residual incomes, every year you're making a profit. If you keep a good clientele, you keep good people around you, you're always going to have residual income. And you're always going to have people coming back for more money. And you keep them well. I tell this is a bad one, but the best drug dealer is an honest drug dealer.
So how did you end up in New York? Why not just do all this from Jersey?
Now I'm gonna be straight with you. Because I came up from a fucking dead-end place. My mother, she snore heroin off the fucking kitchen tables, and my father would steal fucking money out of my fucking back pocket. And I had nowhere else to go, and I said, fuck it. And I made myself what I liked, not what other people liked. And I followed my dreams. And don't worry about coming from the bottom. If you come from the bottom, that just means you got a better way to the top.
So you've been in New York for a few months now. How's that going?
It's been great. It's really been beautiful. Oh, eye-opening. Like, I can do shit like this. Fucking, what are we? 11 o'clock at night. I'm talking to people. I'm learning new things. And fuck, it's beautiful.
Do you meet a lot of people on a regular basis?
Yeah, I try to talk to people. I really don't. I don't try to. Ooh.
Go ahead.
Nah, I definitely need this. I just feel like meeting new people is how you learn. You learn from new people. You learn from people. You learn
So
from
you do that on a regular basis?
I do. I try to talk to people. I try to, people I trust and that are approachable. I try to go up to. The best place to sell something is in an elevator. If you're in an elevator, I don't care. You're at a conference, any conference, you sit in an elevator all day. You go up and down and you sell them your shit. Because that's how you sell policies. That's how you sell shit.
What about women?
Fuck, I don't know women.
You don't know women? You don't. But you walk up to random men and talk to them. Why not walk up to random women and talk to them?
I do.
You think
I
women
do.
are more
It's the
defensive?
Me Too movement. I try to, if they want to come up to me, they'll come up to me. They do. And they do. But I'm not going handcuffed. I'm not doing no submission shit because I don't want to get into no fucking case. And I'm not getting into no case.
Do you think women are more defensive than men when it comes to having conversations?
Yes, but that's by nature. That's because women, I'm going to say it, biologically, women are set up, not saying they're less powerful than men, stronger than men. Like they're built a little bit, I'm trying to not use the word weak, but it's just, I walk around, I'm scared of some men too. I walk around, there's people behind me, I'm gonna have to fuck them up if I'm gonna live. And I couldn't imagine being a girl
Yeah.
and looking at, like, yeah, and I think that women are more defensive than men, but because of how it is, it's,
What are some
Don't
of the
be scared of me.
What are some of the differences between Jersey and New York?
the people, the outgoing personalities, the diversity in the personality. Yo, hey, the diversity in personalities, and you're not gonna get this anywhere else. You're not gonna get this in New Jersey. New York, you're gonna get the most people, most diversity.
So how much longer do you think you're gonna stay in New York?
I'm probably gonna stay here about a year,
And then you're gonna go back to Jersey?
and I'm probably gonna go back to Jersey.
Yeah. What are
But-
some of the things you miss about Jersey?
Being by myself, being alone, being in my backyard and hanging out, and just not worrying about people, because you know you do worry about people in the city, and you constantly you're in yourself. You're in yourself all the time, and am I the best? Am I the best? Am I whatever? You know, you think about yourself too much, and when you're out in the country, you don't think about that. You just think about life. Look at the stars. You can't see the stars here.
Yeah.
I miss the stars.
So tell me about this. What kind of how did you grow up? I mean, were you a good student?
My grandmother was the one that raised me, and she was the one that really instilled all these morals in me. She started the insurance business, which my mother took over, and then I got into it. But if it weren't for her starting out as a woman in the 70s with all the diversity, all the fucking men run the bullshit, fuck that. Women, they can run it. Any person can run it. The only person, the human race, it's just, we're all the same.
So I see you like taking pictures, right?
Yeah, I got T3i.
Do you make
Okay.
videos at all too?
I don't make videos. I take pictures. I'm more of a poet. WAS was. I'm a was poet. And I do short stories. Shel Silverstein is my big inspiration. And words are very powerful. You can talk all you want, but if you put it into words, into literal written words, it's forever.
Now, do you still keep in touch with people back in Jersey, or are you trying to like, get away from it?
I keep in touch with a couple of friends. I have maybe one or two friends I keep in touch with. One friend's out in Colorado, the other one's out in fucking Michigan, and you know, we keep in touch. But I'm not trying to hide from anything. I really am, and that's why I'm on video right now. I'm not hiding from anything. I just wanted to let people know that you're unique. Everyone is unique, and that because of that is because everybody has a value.
But a lot of people are actually running from something I've noticed. Because I've done like about 300 of these interviews. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people who come here from out of town who, when you ask them about their past, they don't really want to get into it because like they didn't like their past. They didn't like where they came from. You want me to move this?
No, you want to sit down?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I like this interview a lot.
Thank you. Yeah,
No.
so, yeah, a lot of people, you know, let's say like they come from out of state.
Agree with
There are people who are bitter and angry about their past and where they were coming from, and that's one of the reasons why they came here, is to shed their problems.
And to be honest, I am running from a little bit of my past, but I want people to know that my past is what made me and what is me. And I love my parents, but they are my downfall. You know, if I stuck with my mom and my father, I really would have just been, I couldn't tell you. I want to say homeless because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really would have been a deadbeat if I followed their path. And I am running, but for a better future.
What do you think about nature versus nurture? Do you think like, let's say I was raised by very incompetent parents, people who were very bad parents, irresponsible, negligent, didn't really invest much in me. Do you think that would make a very big difference if I was raised in a family that put a lot of time into me and invested a lot in me? Because, you know, I was interviewing an ice skater yesterday, and she said that her mother would take her to the rink at 5 a.m. every morning. So this is an example of someone who put in a lot of time
Yeah.
to raise their kids, versus there's a lot of parents out there who don't even want to take their kids to school or pick them up from school.
And that's a good point. Nature versus nurture is very important. It's not nature versus nurture. It's about support. And my parents were very, very negative, people in a society term, but they were always supportive. I did this. I started writing. I dropped out of college. I was in pre-med, and I dropped out of college to write. And they didn't. They just supported me. They said, one day I woke up and they're like, you stood up till 3 o'clock in the morning. What's going on? And I said, I'm having fun. And that's all that mattered to them. And that's true. And it's not nature versus nurture. It's about support. And I'm sorry if, some people don't have that through their home, but you need to find people that support you. And you need to find a support system, and it's out there. I promise. It is out there.
Even in New York.
Even in New York.
But don't you think people in New York are more defensive than elsewhere, though?
I agree. People in New York are very self-centered. They're very full of themselves, but that doesn't mean that they're defensive. It means that they're so self-conscious. Honestly, I connect more with the people that are lost than those are the ones walking around in suits. I do, and that's because I see a person I don't see a person as lost. I see someone that's on a mission. And when someone with a suit, they already got their shit. They got it all. They're doing the daily routine. They're already in the routine. When I see someone that is struggling and trying to find their hustle and their grind, that's when I see the real person. I don't see that cookie cutter portfolio of a Wall Street person. I see someone making themselves.
So were you a good student?
No, I mean, I was a C/B student. I was dyslexic. I'm bipolar. I struggled. I worked hard for it. But like going back to support, my grandmother, they put me in special education. I was ostracized as a student. I was in small classes with more than maybe 5 people, when other people were in 25, 30 classes, 30 people classes. And I felt I didn't, I could have bent over and died and said I'm an idiot. But I pushed myself. And
Go ahead.
And I pushed myself and I really hope people realize that just because you're classified or you have a label doesn't mean that you're that label. You can create a different label.
So were you bullied in school?
No. To be honest, I wasn't.
So you got lucky.
I was an athlete. I was a hockey. I played hockey, and I was very lucky with that. But after I left high school and went to college, no one talked to me. I found maybe 2 friends. I had 30 friends coming out of high school. I can't even count the amount of friends I have on my fingers. Maybe
So
2.
You don't keep in touch with the people from college?
No, and not because I don't. I have no negative impact on anybody in college. It's just that no one reached out to me, and I reached out to them, and no one hit me back.
Do you think New York could be a lonely city?
Definitely. Sometimes I feel that I'm most alone when I'm surrounded by people I don't know.
Yeah. So what are some places you hang out in?
I like to hang out in Central Park a lot. I like to go over to the Ear Inn over in Soho. I like to hang out there. I'm over there probably every Saturday night. I'm over there, so you can check me out over there. And if not, I'm longboarding.
Are you a skater too?
Yeah, well, not skate. I can't do kick flips. That's why I longboard, and I just like to cruise.
You mingle with the skating community?
No, I wouldn't say I would. I don't. I use it
wouldn't
more
mingle
as a
with
mode of
those guys over there?
transportation.
You wouldn't
Nah.
mingle with those guys over there?
Well, you know me. I wouldn't mingle with most people. Not just because they're skateboarding, but just because I like what they're doing, or they did a good. They did something like, I don't know, like a fucking 360 flip. I'd be like, that's fucking sick,
Because
But
a lot of these skaters, they only mingle with other skaters. You don't really see these skaters just talking around in circles.
yeah, and it's a big problem with our society in general, is that we constantly strive to be cliques and divided, and that's terrible. And we're really, we might think we're in this clique, and we might think that we're part of this community. But in reality, a community is based on the individuals that are in it, and you could have a whole community of yeah, it's the community is based on the individuals in it, and if you're from New Jersey, I mean, I might be pissing a lot of people off by saying this, but we consider ourselves from New York. If someone from New England or from UK asks us where you're from, I'm from, by New York, New Jersey,
It's
And,
all part of that metropolitan area.
But I agree, I think that people connect from different states is because they have that sense of they're running from something.
Yeah.
And that sense that they're all connected in some way, and that's because they're out from different states.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. I really love this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
From the outside looking in, yeah, I like the idea of the interview, but now with this camera in front of me, it's kind of a different perspective.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How is it different?
I feel that if I have to be more, not censored, but I have to pick my words a little better.
Yeah. So
'Cause
it's not like having a real conversation.
No, it isn't. It isn't. No, and that's
You
kind
have to
of.
hold back a little bit.
I don't want to say hold back, but I have to make my words what I want. I want to be able to project what I'm saying
Yeah.
better,
Yeah. So
But I'm not lying or anything,
You're choosing your words.
Yeah, exactly.
Arnell, can you do any impersonation?
Haha. I don't know if I can do any impersonations.
What is your specialty? What are some things you're good at? You said you're an athlete. What else do you do?
I don't know. I'm good at making people laugh. Just
You a comedian?
yeah.
you
People
tell a
call
joke?
me. I got no. What's the difference between a baby and a soldier?
What?
A soldier can load his diaper. A soldier can load his gun, but a baby can load his diaper. Haha. That's all I got for comedy. But I'm really not. I'm just a person. I want to do this interview because I want to realize we're all people. We're all unique, and that's what makes the value.
So what were you, what kind of questions would you ask if you were doing an interview?
Good question. I love that question. I would ask, what is your favorite moon? And what is your goal? What are your dreams? What pushes you? Oh, I was up in the rooftop bar at the ALIZ Azil bar, and the bartender told me to go to Washington Square Park. I took the A train down here, and I was going to do some writing. WAS was. I'm a poet. I sell poetry, and most of my stuff is through my own experiences.
How was the park?
Washington Square Park is an experience. Bar was beautiful, breathtaking. Honestly, on my back end was the sunset, and I was staring into a full moon. So, while drinking a couple beers, like, you really can't get better than that. Well, 50 stories up. I mean,
Now you are someone who likes talking to strangers, right?
agreed.
What are some of the responses that you've gotten from people? How do people generally respond to you when you just randomly?
The general responses I get with most people are that you're a creep. To be frank, you're a creep. Like, why are you talking to me? They're very quizzical. Like, they're very
Suspicious of you?
suspicious is a good word. They're very suspicious and like, why is this even happening? And most of the comments I get is, how you doing, or like just simple talk. And when I do get into conversation with somebody, it's hard to even explain because I just talk about my life and we're able to connect. It seems that the people I talk to, I'm able to connect.
What kind of lessons have you learned by talking to people? I mean, as far as your
Don't get in
approach.
the middle of anything. Don't get in the middle of anything. Be your own self, and just you should know your values, know your morals, and stick to them. You know yourself and believe in yourself.
So what are some things you avoid doing when you're approaching people? Because I'll tell you one of the things that I learned by doing this is don't press people about their past, because like I told you before, a lot of people are running from their past. They feel pain about the past, so don't, because normally like the logical thing to do was ask where you're from.
The best way I could approach somebody would be to make it as natural as possible, and to try to bring out the natural person in them by starting with a joke, an icebreaker, or don't come off aggressive, and just be genuine, and be genuine in your responses, and never stray. Even if you feel like, oh, this person is not gonna like what I say it, because that's genuine, and just be genuine. Just be genuine.
So you approach both young and old people?
I try to stay with people my age. I'll be honest. I do not. If anything, older people.
Yeah.
Older people is what I try to. I think of older people as they're very wise, and maybe it's because of the loss of my parents, or like my neglect of my parents, that I look for parenting and people that are older than me. But yeah, I have no problem talking to older people. It's honestly, my age is kind of hard to talk to.
How do young people respond in comparison to the old people?
The young people are more like, why are you talking to me? They're more standoffish. Where the old people, they look at me and as if I'm a human being. And I think that, yeah, I think the younger people are just so standoffish because they don't understand how important is human interaction is.
Do you approach families too, or no?
Families, no. Like tonight, I just came into Washington Square Park, and I saw some guys hanging on the bench, and I just saw them, and I thought they were cool, and we connected right off the bat. You know, it was if our conversation wasn't as smooth in the beginning, then I probably would have walked away and listened to music. But as it progressed, that's why I was so intrigued to meet these people and understand what they were about.
How much time do you normally give it? Till you
I don't give it too much time. Honestly, maybe at the most 5 minutes I'll give somebody, and that's because I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, and I just want to make everyone feel. I just want to feel genuine.
I had someone tell me that all it takes is 30 seconds for you to feel whether you can click with this person or not.
I agree with that. It really, you know.
So after 30 seconds, if you sense that person's not feeling you or feeling your vibes, you just leave.
If it's aggressive, like they're like no, or they're one-word responses, then 30 seconds is all I need. But I'm willing to give people a little bit more time to develop, because I understand that we're in a world that doesn't want people to come out, and it takes a little bit, and not a lot of people are comfortable with themselves.
Now, what's the difference between approaching a male and a female?
Huge difference. Huge difference. I never approach a single female. I really try not to. I try to, if it's a group of girls, I try to bring the attention to all of them, and then try to bring one attention to one girl. But when it's guys, you know, I don't mind. Sometimes I start a conversation with a guy is, you have a lighter, or you know, something stupid like, I need something and can you help me out? But with girls, I never go up to a girl like on my own. I really, you know, I think it's a shame too, because I really would love to hit on a lot of girls, but I don't want them to feel uncomfortable.
So do you avoid women because of bad previous experiences that you've had, or? Yeah,
I do avoid women because of bad experiences I had. I don't want to go into detail, but I had a woman lie to me, and it was very impactful.
Mm-hmm. So all it took was one bad experience.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's for anybody. Yeah.
So that was a game changer for you, basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it changed my whole life, but I dropped out of college because of it.
It changed your sort of the way you operate.
Yeah, I dropped out of college because of it. I changed. Not my morals were really the same. It's just the way I approach people and how I interact with people changed, because I wasn't as free flowing. I couldn't just say this stuff. You know, I did say before, say what's on your head, but have some respect for people. And at that point in my life, I feel like you could just say whatever you want, but no, people have morals.
Yeah, I've had women tell me that they don't even talk to men because of bad experiences that they've had.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think that men and women, they have one bad experience. That's all it takes for somebody to be completely isolated and change their whole life.
Physical, right?
If there is a peak, it's because you're at a low, and it's only because you're at that low that you're able to see the peak. And in your life, there should be no peaks and there should be no lows. It should be I don't know how to explain it, but there should be purpose no matter what you do in life, and with that purpose, you're gonna find your peaks and your lows.
Okay, now you want to plug into your social media? No? You want to give a shout out to anybody?
WAS was, my name is Will. I want to shout out to Gina. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy 24th birthday, Mom. I love you so much, and I wish you the best.
Do I have your permission to put this on the internet?
I'd be honored.